The Singing Mermaid's Quest. In a far-off kingdom, beneath the deep blue sea, lived a magnificent mermaid named Melody. Her voice was so enchanting that it could soothe even the fiercest of storms and charm the deadliest of creatures. But despite her magical talent, Melody yearned to explore the world above the waves. One day, while swimming near the surface, she overheard some sailors talking about a wondrous land called the Island of Wonders, where singing was the most treasured art. Determined to discover this place and showcase her own gift, Melody set out on a quest. She swam for days and nights, encountering all sorts of challenges along the way, from dodging schools of nasty piranhas to escaping fierce whirlpools. But with her resilience and creativity, she managed to overcome every obstacle. Finally, she arrived at the Island of Wonders, where she was greeted by a group of majestic birds. They led her to the great hall and introduced her to the king of singers, a wise old elephant named Alfredo. Alfredo listened to Melody's song and was amazed by its beauty. He invited her to perform in the royal concert, where all the best singers in the land gathered to showcase their talents. Melody sang her heart out, filling the hall with a mesmerizing melody that touched everyone's soul. The audience cheered and applauded. And even the toughest critics couldn't help but shed a tear. After the concert, Alfredo declared Melody the winner and awarded her a golden harp, a symbol of excellence in singing. Overwhelmed with joy and gratitude, Melody thanked the king and all the creatures of the Island of Wonders. As she bid farewell to her new friends and set off back to her underwater home, Melody knew that she had fulfilled her greatest dream. And who knows? Maybe one day, she would return to the Island of Wonders, this time with her friends by her side, to share the magic of singing with all the creatures of the sea and the sky. The magic forest and the enchanted creatures. Once upon a time, there was a magic forest that lay beyond the rolling hills, far from the bustling city. This forest was home to many enchanted creatures: unicorns, centaurs, fairies, and talking animals. One bright sunny day, a young girl named Lily decided to venture into the forest for a picnic with her friends. As they laid out their blanket, they heard a rustle in the bushes. Suddenly, a mischievous fairy named Tinkerbell emerged, giggling uncontrollably. Tinkerbell told the children of a wicked sorcerer who planned to destroy the magic forest and all the creatures within it. The children felt that it was their responsibility to protect the forest and its inhabitants from this evil sorcerer. Together, they set out on a quest to find the sorcerer's lair, and along the way, they met many magical creatures who helped them on their journey. The gentle and wise unicorn, Dawn, showed them the way through the dense forest. The kind-hearted centaur, Archer, shared his archery skills with the children. Finally, they arrived at the sorcerer's lair, which was surrounded by a moat filled with crocodiles. The children used all their wits and courage to overcome the obstacles and defeat the sorcerer. Using all the knowledge and magic they had acquired from their new friends, they saved the magic forest and all its creatures, and the sorcerer was never seen again. Lily and her friends continued to visit the magic forest often, bringing back stories of their adventures to share with others. And every time they returned, they found that the enchanted creatures were always happy to see them, and they knew that they would always have allies in this magical world. From that day on, Lily and her friends were known as the protectors of the magic forest, and they pledged to protect it from any harm that may come its way. The Magic Seed. In a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind-hearted king named Alexander who ruled with fairness and love. His kingdom was known for its beautiful gardens and exquisite flowers. People from all over the world came to see the magical flowers that nobody had ever seen before. One day, the king received a very special gift from his long-lost friend, a seed from a rare and enchanted flower. The king was delighted and ordered his gardeners to plant the seed with the utmost care. Weeks passed, but nothing seemed to grow from the seed. The king was saddened and disappointed, but he didn't lose hope. One night, he dreamt of a radiant fairy who had come to help him. She said, "Oh, King, do not fret, for the seed you planted holds a magic yet. For every tear you shed, it will grow and bring forth a flower of beauty beyond measure. The king woke up with renewed hope and started weeping, not out of sadness, but out of pure faith. To his amazement, the next morning, from the ground where the seed was planted, a tiny sprout began to grow. Days turned into weeks, and the sprout turned into a bud as big as the king's hand. Finally, on the 7th day, the bud blossomed into the most magnificent flower the king had ever seen. Its petals were as brilliant as the sun, and its fragrance filled the air with sweetness. The king called it the magic seed and ordered a special place in his garden just for it. Years passed, and the magic seed became the talk of the town. The people would come from miles away just to catch a glimpse of the flower that had grown from Alexander's tears. One day, an evil sorcerer came to the kingdom and cast a spell on the magic seed, making it wither and lose its radiance. The king was devastated, and the people feared that the magic would be lost forever. But, out of nowhere, the fairy from the king's dream appeared and said, "Do not worry, your majesty, for all is not lost. You have been patient and kind, so I will help you find what you seek." With a wave of her wand, she broke the spell and made the magic seed bloom once more. From then on, the magic seed grew bigger and brighter with each passing day, and the kingdom continued to prosper in beauty and happiness. The Enchanted Garden. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful garden known as the Enchanted Garden. It was said to be a magical place where all sorts of plants and animals lived together in harmony. The garden was tended to by a kind-hearted fairy named Lily, who had the power to talk to plants and animals. She spent her days chatting with the birds, admiring the flowers, and making sure all the creatures were happy and healthy. One day, a group of mischievous goblins snuck into the enchanted garden. They were jealous of the happiness and beauty they saw there. They decided to cause chaos and destruction, hoping to ruin the peace of the garden. They pulled out the flowers, trampled on the grass, and upset the animals. Lily was devastated when she saw the mess. She knew she needed to do something to save the garden. She called on the help of her friends, the fairies of the 4 seasons. Together, they worked tirelessly to restore the enchanted garden. They planted new flowers, fixed the broken trees, and brought back the animals. Slowly but surely, the garden returned to its former glory. The goblins saw that their plan had failed, and they left the garden for good. From that day on, Lily and her friends made it their mission to protect the enchanted garden from harm. They built a fence around it, so no more goblins could sneak in. And they continued to tend to the garden, ensuring that it remained a happy and magical place. Children who visited the enchanted garden heard Lily's stories of its magic and beauty. They learned to respect nature and the importance of kindness and cooperation. They too helped to keep the enchanted garden alive and thriving for generations to come.